lot of people call NAFTA 2 between ourselves, the Canadians, and the Mexicans. Now it's up to the president to sign it, which he will. The same week we saw the China deal go through, the two largest economic powers on the planet, signing off on a deal that could boost trade between them dramatically. The Chinese have already committed to buy better than $200 billion worth of U.S. goods over the next couple of years. But those two twin deals could be very good in those battleground states you hear so much about. With us is Wisconsin Republican Congressman Mike Gallagher on how that all plays out for his state. Very good to have you, Congressman. Thank you.
It's an honor to be here.
So let's talk first on NAFTA 2 or USMCA, this one with the Canadians and the Mexicans. Democrats claim they toughened it up. I don't know who's right on that, but that the deal is done and your state benefits. Do you agree with that?
I do. It benefits greatly. And I rarely say this, but the Senate did a great thing. And the Senate was able to get this across the finish line in 41 days. That's great for not only President Trump, but for America and for Wisconsin. And it stands in stark contrast to the over year-long delay we had in the House, which I believe did hurt Wisconsin farmers. But there's no question in my mind that USMCA is a win for Wisconsin. Our dairy farmers have been struggling recently because there have been persistently low milk prices. Well, this, you look at our two biggest export markets, Canada and Mexico. It maintains zero tariff access to the Mexican market, but it also increases access to the Canadian market, and that's a huge win. So all we want to do in Wisconsin is continue to make the world's best cheese and milk.
Right.
If the Packers win a Super Bowl this year, too, that would help as well.
Don't get ahead of yourself. So let's talk a little bit, Congressman, about what the China trade deal means, because the farming community has been taken on the chin, even with the credits the president has advanced to them. I don't know how it applies in Wisconsin, but they're still skeptical of that. What do you tell them?
Well, let's say you're a dairy farmer in Wisconsin. Soybeans can comprise 30% of your agronomy business. So no doubt there have been some tit for tat back and forth here. But I think we want to move to a situation where, as we continue to selectively decouple key parts of our economy from that of the Chinese economy, we still want to preserve the ability for Wisconsin farmers to sell soybeans, for us to buy T-shirts and other things that don't threaten our national security. But I do have to say, we will have to selectively decouple over the long term. That's going to require some short-term pain. But as a matter of national security, we have to do that. We have to wean ourselves off of cheap Chinese goods, and we certainly can't have the Chinese infiltrate our national security industrial base.
But it's still a tough sell to your farmers who've been taken on the chin, right?
Well, that's why it's so important that we got USMCA passed. I think that enhances our negotiating position with China. Hopefully it'll offset it. And again,
do you think the metrics are there, Congressman, the Chinese will deliver the goods? They've lied in the past.
It's too early to tell. I mean, I think we should approach this with a great deal of skepticism. My initial interpretation is this was largely a deal not to escalate further. Most of the major issues have been punted to phase 2. There's an underappreciated story going on with some of our closest allies in terms of making sure the Brits don't allow Chinese companies, Huawei and ZTE, to dominate the future of 5G internet. And so these are the battlefields in which it's going to play out, and this is going to be a generational struggle.
Are you surprised? You and I were chatting during the break about the president and his poll numbers in your state. It was a state he won, barely, but he won, picked up the delegates, and it was part of the math that, you know, winning in battleground states, that he's still facing quite a battle. And I'm surprised, given the economy, given what's going on, given the reduction in the unemployment rate, certainly in your fine state and in your district, what's happening? Why isn't he doing better?
Well, I would say the caveat is that in 2016, no one said Trump was going to win Wisconsin.
True.
It was written off. So everybody's crystal ball is broken. That includes mine. I believe elections are won from the bottom up. The president has done himself enormous good, not only in terms of the deregulatory effort, in terms of his overall economic agenda, a strong foreign policy agenda.
But you know, kind of the rep there is that people didn't admit they were going to vote for the president, then Donald Trump, the candidate for president, in 2016. They might be saying that again now. So do you think these polls reflect the real sentiment of Badger State voters?
Well, I think until the president has an actual opponent, all these polls are very theoretical. And I think there's just a lot of game left to be played between now and then. The president came to Milwaukee this week for a rally. There was a lot of energy there. You know, we've seen a lot of very intense swings in terms of what's happening geopolitically, but some of that has redounded to the president's advantage. For example, the decision to get rid of Soleimani, I think, was a masterstroke. And though the conventional wisdom is that foreign policy doesn't matter in elections, it may. And obviously, it's connected to.
Did it resonate in Wisconsin? Because depending on the poll, always risky. a lot of people say, as long as he doesn't get us deeper into this Middle East thing.
Well, I think as part of a broader effort to restore peace through strength, and certainly the efforts to get tough on China are the pillar of that reorientation of our U.S. foreign policy, I do think that resonates with Wisconsinites who may not be following, the nuances of what's happening in Tahrir Square in Baghdad, or, who Soleimani is relative to Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei, but do want America to be tough, don't want America to get pushed around as it has in the past. It almost becomes an emotional issue, a patriotic issue. And certainly that involves standing up for our military, rebuilding the military. And that's an area where the president, working with those of us in Congress on the Armed Services Committee, has been exceptionally strong. And I think will help him in the election in 2020.
Like I said, it depends on the nominee the Democrats have.
That's right.
We shall see. Congressman, thank you very much. Good seeing you in the flesh.